Alright, so there should be an easy video, but I'm just going to show you what I'm dealing with. I have the actual logo that we're going to put on the page. No spaces in the names, remember that, which is just a JPEG. And I got a JPEG that's just a bigger version of the actual ad. No spaces in the name, then a PDF with no spaces in the name. Next thing you want to do is you want to come to your website, and you want to go to the actual post that you want to edit, and we're going to edit it. Then when you come down here, ignore that, you want to make sure that the text format says full HTML. It starts out on filtered HTML, but you want to make sure that says, and there's no buttons up here, but then when you make it full HTML, see it adds more buttons. So what you next want to do is click somewhere, we'll add it right here. We're going to browse the server and add the logo. So we'll click browse server. Then these are all already uploaded. I didn't mean to. I've been having trouble with this. Now we want to click upload in the upper left corner. You want to browse. And you want to come to your wherever your files are. So mine are in desktop, test upload or something. What's that? Oh, okay. If this file was too big to upload, it's gonna prompt you and tell you it's too big, but it's not. So we're gonna start out with the FiberTite logo. Don't worry about clicking these. You can adjust it from there. And so let's click upload. You want to make sure that your files are always 72 dpi and no bigger than 1,000 high or 1,000 wide. And if this is unchecked, we'll make it 10. See how it smashes it unproportionately, but if it's locked, it will always be proportionate. But that's still too small, so let's make it 50. And it's locked, so it's going to be proportionate to the actual image. And the text is going to sit right beside it, like that. Let's give it 10 horizontal space and maybe 10 net. And let's set it to the right. You can play with those. They all make sense. Now it's going to look like that. Let's move it up here to the very front of the page. And now it's going to sit like that. So let me just show you what this looks like. So that's just going to look like that. And it's just going to be a pretty logo just sitting there. Let's go back to the edit of this post. And let's add a link to it. So now we're going to click it once. And we're going to click right here, the image icon. And we can set it back to the left. So it's going to do that. Let's click it. And let's click the little image icon. Now we're going to add a link to it up here in the middle. And we're going to browse our server. Let's upload a link to it. So in the top left, click upload. And let's just link it to the PDF. We'll say open, say upload. And that shouldn't take too long to upload, but it should be there. So with that uploaded, it says okay, and we're going to double click it, and it should be fine. But now we want this to actually be a blank. That way it opens up in a new tab. And say okay, it doesn't take them away from the actual post. So we'll say okay. Now that should all work perfectly. So we'll save it. And you can't make PDF show up on the page. I'll give you a little X icon. So, but now when you click this, it's going to open up the PDF in a new tab. For some reason, my Firefox doesn't like viewing PDFs right now. So I'm going to show you from Internet Explorer that it does actually work. So now when they click on this, it'll bring them to the actual PDF once I tell it to allow. So there's the actual PDF. So we don't need Internet Explorer anymore. And let me show you something else really cool. So it's really easy to link them to different things. So let's edit this post. I'm going to click it once. I'm going to click our image icon. And let's just make it, make sure that's locked. And let's just make it 150 so it's a little bit bigger. And say OK. And then from here, let's change the link. So we're going to go to link. We're going to browse the server. Let's upload that bigger JPEG I have. That's 1,000 wide. So right here, I'm going to say upload. And now that it's linked to the JPEG, let's say OK. We'll just double click it. And we'll say OK. Let me show you what that does. Now it's just going to open up the JPEG in a new tab, which that works just as fine too. Let me show you something else even cooler we can do with a JPEG. You can't link it to a PDF like this, but you can just do this for a JPEG. So make sure you have it on text format, full HTML, Then you want to click on this little image icon to upload an image. Then you click the image, you click this little guy again, and then you add a link to it. So we linked our bigger image to it. Remember that the small image should be on the page, the big image should be what it links to. That way you don't bog down the load time of the actual page. So now that has the link to it, if we view our source, this gets kind of confusing, but it's really easy. I'm just going to move it somewhere. Well, we'll start out with it like that. So we come to the source. An ahref means that there's a link to something. If you follow it all the way to the actual JPEG right here, this is the file that it's linking to. But let me show you if I move it down here. You come to the source. So here's my ahref. You just have to look for the ahref. So let's put it back up here just because it's easier that way. We'll come to the source. And in this ahref space, it goes a space class equals quote color box end quote in space. So you just add that between the ahref. I mean, if you can find the ahref, you can add that class in there. But it has to be linked to a JPEG, not a PDF. Okay. So now when they come down here and they view the page, they click on that, and it's going to do that for the actual JPEG. It does that with the class equals color box rule. That's something I add to the pages. So let's edit this. And if you want to delete that, you just click it and delete it. I'm going to leave it there just so you can view the source and see what I did. And you can click it once and view the actual links and browse the server. But remember, it must be full HTML or it's not going to work. Alright, see you later.